This short video here shows you how to name a compound with one chiral center. And I've chosen this particular compound because it has 4 different groups around it. And if you look very carefully, you'll see that I have the OH group pointing up, just like you see here. The hydrogen points in the same plane, but to the left. You can see it slightly better here. And then the thiol group, the SH group, is the yellow one pointing away from you, and the NH2 group is pointing toward you. And now if you look at this, you'll see that the lowest priority group, the hydrogen, is actually not pointing away from you. And what we want to do is have this lowest priority group pointing away from you. And in terms of priorities, what we do is we look at the atomic numbers of all the atoms involved, and you can see that I have a hydrogen atom, a nitrogen atom, an oxygen atom, and a sulfur atom. And in this, the hydrogen has an atomic number of 1, nitrogen has an atomic number of 7, oxygen 8, and sulfur 16, which means that the highest priority is sulfur, followed by oxygen, nitrogen, and then hydrogen has the lowest priority. So I want this lowest priority group to point away from me. So how do I do that? It's very easy with the model, because what you can do is hold the model on the hydroxy group and rotate it by 120 degrees. And you see, if I do that, just rotate it by 120 degrees, I am not changing the position of the hydroxy group, but every other group has now been changed. So what you'll see is that hydrogen is now pointing away from you after rotating it. The NH2 group, which was originally pointing toward me, is now in the plane. The thiol group, which was away from me, is now pointing toward me, just by rotating this group 120 degrees. Once I do that, I have the hydrogen pointing away from me. I then label all the groups according to priorities. So again, you'll see my thiol group is priority number 1, followed by OH number 2, and NH2 number 3. Now the only group that I can bypass here is the one that has the lowest priority. In this case would be the hydrogen, which means that I would go from priority 1 to priority 2. I can bypass hydrogen. I can't go this way, because then I'd be bypassing the priority group number 3. So I have to go from number 1, bypass the lowest priority group number 2, and then to the next priority group number 3. And this is done in an anti-clockwise rotation. And if this is done in an anti-clockwise rotation, then this configuration must be the S configuration.